This time I will answer the challenge of performing in persona. It's another piece that I wrote myself. They call me Drustan of Nordenfjord, and when I was a younger man, I sailed for a vast and shapeless sea. I had the great pleasure of sailing with the greatest captain that ever lived, one Cornelius Van Corlear. Why, with my dear captain, we sailed to the north, the south, the east, the west, and back to the east again for good measure. We sailed the known lands and the unknown lands where there be monsters. Yes, as lovely as a lily and as daring as a dragon. Truly, my captain was a man who need bow to no man. What, you've never heard of him? Well, let me tell you why. You see, one day we were sailing up the river north and came under the shadow of Dunderberg mountain, where there lived a storm king who they say controlled the winds and the waves, the lightning and the thunder. And if you did not bow to him, he would tear your ship asunder. But my captain was a man who need bow to no man. So as we passed under the mountain, we all bowed, all except for my captain. Our first mate saw this, so he steps up to the captain. And of course, I snuck in closer to listen. Our first mate said, "Captain, we must bow to the Storm King, for he controls the winds and the waves and the lightning, the thunder. If we do not bow, he will tear our ship asunder." Captain Van Corlear looked at the first mate and smiled. "Oh no, my good first mate, I may bow to all the lasses, and I may bow while in my glasses, but I will never bow to that Storm King of Dunderberg mountain." And the waves began to splash, and the wind began to blow, but my captain, he held fast, and still he said, "No." And storm clouds rolled in and spread the shadow of Dunderberg mountain over the entire river. And a driving rain fell, and the wind picked up that we had to lower our sails. So again, me and our crew, we all bowed to the Storm King, all except for one man, our captain. Now the quartermaster, a salty dog who knew the seas like the back of his old calloused hands, he saw what the captain was doing, and he steps up to him. So I snuck in closer to listen. And he says, "Yar, Captain, we must bow, for the Storm King controls the winds and the waves, the lightning and the thunder. If we do not bow, he will tear our ship asunder." Now Captain Van Corlear looked at our quartermaster strangely, for the man had never spoken that way before. Finally he said, "Oh no, my good quartermaster, I may bow to all the lasses, and I may bow while in my glasses, but I will never bow to that Storm King of Dunderberg mountain." And the waves they did crash, and a gale it did blow, but my captain, dear captain, held fast, and still he said, "No." And soon all the land was covered in the shadow of Dunderberg mountain, and the driving rain became driving hail, and waves crashed over the sides of the ship, knocking us and scattering us, panicking us. So we all bowed frantically for the Storm King. And then someone in the crew noticed that our captain was not bowing. And the rest of the crew, not I, of course, they became enraged. They surrounded our captain with knives and dirks and gaffs and hooks and belaying pins. And they said, "You must bow to the Storm King. He controls the winds and the waves, the lightning, the thunder, and if you do not bow, he will tear our ship asunder." Captain Van Corlear was the bravest man that I had ever known, and not one to take mutiny lightly. He stared down every member of our crew. It took a while. It was a large crew. Finally, when they were sufficiently cowed, he said, "Oh no, my crew, I may bow to all the lasses, and I may bow while in my glasses, but I will never, ever bow to that storm king of Dunderberg." And before he could say mountain, a great lightning bolt came down, not from the sky, but from the mountain itself. It crashed into our good ship and tore our ship asunder. The next day, waterlogged and half drowned, I was rescued by a kindly fishing crew, along with the rest of my crew, all except for one man, for chained upon the other shore to an old oak tree and bent upon all fours was Captain Cornelius Van Corlear. You see, he once bowed to all the lasses, and he bowed while in his glasses, but now forever he would bow to the storm king of Dunderberg Mountain. Thank you.